Jan Barham. Sorry, Ms. Jan Barham.
Thank you. I begin my contribution to debate in the 56th Parliament with the theme of wellbeing. The next 4 years will be crucial time that shapes the lives of generations to come. We face 4 enormous challenges that require ongoing action. The first challenge is the relationship and treatment of the First Peoples of this country. I acknowledge that we are meeting here on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I acknowledge traditional custodians of all lands across the state who through past and current generations have faced the impact of dispossession and injustice. The disparity in health, wellbeing and incarceration rates between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people should cause us all to be sorry. We must acknowledge the stolen generations and establish adequate redress, finalise the backlog of nearly 26,000 unresolved Aboriginal land claims, finalise those and then do all we can to remove the disadvantage and provide opportunities and outcomes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. To ensure we are addressing this challenge, New South Wales needs an annual Premier's Close the Gap report to inform budgets, policy and legislation. The second challenge is climate change. Global warming is affecting our climate and creating risks to our environment, health, agriculture and economy. All levels of government must act to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and plan the transition to a net zero emissions society within several decades, and to put in place strategies for adapting to the impacts of a warming world on all aspects of life, including our biodiversity, our coastlines, our farms and our health and safety. The federal government has weakened Australia's efforts on climate change, but New South Wales has the power to act. We need a comprehensive framework for addressing both the cause and the impacts of climate change, and to guide governments, businesses and society into the future. Local government and communities can be empowered to build resilience and contribute to climate change adaptation and mitigation. The third challenge is the failure of our society to ensure the well-being of all people and communities. Anyone claiming that our economy is in great shape needs to confront the appalling fact that nearly 900,000 people, more than 1 person in every 7 in New South Wales, is living in poverty. Inequality is widening, cost of living pressures are making life harder for those on low incomes, and the cruel federal budget cuts removing supports that could help vulnerable people. New South Wales is not protecting the environment and biodiversity that supports and sustains us. There is a crisis, and leaders must remember that. To quote Father Timothy Radcliffe, who was on ABC radio last week, "We're part of nature, and if we rip it to pieces, the delicate web of ecology, then we're going to damage ourselves." We need to change what we value and how we measure the state's performance, with a wellbeing indicators framework and a strategy to address poverty. We need to invest in people, providing supports and early intervention across a range of portfolios. The final challenge is in the housing crisis, and that is undermining people's right to shelter. Many, including those who are most vulnerable and who are young, are locked out of home ownership, are in housing stress, are on waiting lists for assistance and at risk of homelessness. I anticipate the government's response to the 41 recommendations of the Social and Affordable Housing Inquiry that I was proud to initiate. We need urgent action to make affordable, accessible and appropriate housing available to all people. This is my Greenprint for the next 4 years, a commitment to First Peoples, to climate change, social and economic inequality and the right to housing. Addressing these challenges will take effort and trust from all of us in this Parliament, from the whole of government and from the many people across society, the communities, the organisations who have the capacity to be part of making change happen. I look forward to debate on these issues, and I'm hopeful that members share these values. As representatives of the people, we in this Parliament must act on the responsibility to prevent intergenerational harm to the well-being of people, communities and ecosystems of this state.